audio.
What's up, amazing good people. Umefanya Phantom, eh? Hope you guys are doing good from wherever you're watching us from. That was a commercial break. Remember, we are your favorite shop, the Decibel Audio Kenya. We are the best when it comes to sale of music instrument, public address system, lighting system, wind instrument, band instrument, name it. We are located at the junction of Luthuli Avenue and Kamae Road along Luthuli Avenue. You turn right, you come to a shop called Decibel Audio Kenya. We also in Mombasa, Bamburi Mtambo, Safka Plaza, opposite Baraka Estate. We also have another branch there for Decibel Audio Kenya. More branches loading soon. So without further ado, we have had so many people asking about the differences between all these stuff that you see right over here. So what happens when you go to you are doing your sound system and you find plenty of all these things and you don't know exactly what they are, you don't know exactly what they do. So today I want to explain to you what a crossover does, what an equalizer does, what a compressor does, what an exciter does, and what a feedback destroyer does. Although I don't have it here, I want to explain to you all these things. I might not go into details into what exactly every function of the buttons, but I'll tell you exactly what they do. So without further ado, let's start with the first one that you see right over here. So this one is called crossover. All right, so this is a crossover and it's called 234XS. So this one is a crossover. So what's the work of a crossover? What is it that it does? What is the work of a crossover? So a crossover in sound system is a frequency distributor. Right? So if you are doing sound, you already know that we have three major frequencies. We have the high frequency, we have the mid frequency, and the low frequency. So you have speakers like the ones that you see right over there. So these speakers are built differently. We have mid-range speakers, we have highs, that is the highs are normally the tweeters, and we have the low frequencies, which normally are the bass speakers. So what do you do to protect these speakers? We use something called a crossover. So you are channeling, or you are able to distribute, or you are able to focus a signal into its right destination. All right, so you have low frequency and you want that speaker to be able to produce only low frequencies. You use a crossover to be able to channel a particular frequency into the amplifier or into your powered speaker. So that is basically the work of a crossover. So if you have mid frequency, you're going to assign a particular role from the crossover and tell it whatever you're going to give out in terms of output, let it only be in terms of mid frequency. If it's a high frequency, the same. Low frequency, the same. Anything even in between, like a high mid which is a balance of a bit of mid and a bit of high, the same thing we have. Like the four-way crossover is able to give you four different frequencies in two channels. So you're able to get high, mid, low, then you can actually get high mid and you can also get low mid. Actually those are five frequencies, but because you have two channels, you can only be able to get four of them. So that is a work of a crossover, basically being able to channel specific frequency into its destination, either an amplifier or either a powered speaker. I think we are done with the crossover. We'll come to yet another video now showing you the nitty-gritties of the crossover. Then next to it is something called an equalizer. So as you can see, the equalizer has so many sliders, right? All these sliders that you can see right over here, like this particular one is called a 231. And the reason why it's called a 231, it's not just a name. The 2 represents two channels. That's the left and the right. I remember this is a mistake that most people do. The left and the right are not individual channels. These are stereo channels. So that means they should work hand in hand or hand to hand or whatever English you choose to choose. But they should work hand in hand. So hand in hand means if you have left on this side, for you to be able to get a stereo, then you should have right on the other hand. All right, so one equalizer should only be able to serve as a stereo function. So it has two, which means stereo, so left and right, and then the 31 are the number of bars that it has. So from here, from the lowest frequency, which is 20 hertz, all the way to the 20k hertz, these bars that you see over here 31 in number. So 31 in number, you are able to divide them into 3. You get the first set of 10. Sorry for that. First set of 10, those are the low frequencies. Middle set of 10, mid frequency. The last 10 of set 10, the high frequencies. I'll come into details next time and tell you why we have 10 in terms of highs, because we have plenty of categories when it comes to frequencies and the amount of intensity that they add or they reduce. So what is the function of an equalizer? Most people again confuse this to be a gadget of increasing volume, increasing frequencies, but forget that it is also its function is also to reduce unwanted frequencies. So you only boost that which you feel is not sufficient and is clean, and then you reduce or you bring down the sliders or the faders or whatever you call them. You bring them down, especially if they are bringing distorted sound, unclear sound, or unwanted sound, or it's too loud for you, it's too cranky, it's too distorted. You bring them down. So the function normally is to bring everything to harmony through the equalizer, because you have the selection of individual frequencies from 20k all the way to 20k hertz. So you are able to either bring down or bring up frequencies before they go into the crossover. Then you can be able to channel the clear signal out of your equalizer. So it has volumes as well. It has you can be able to manipulate even very clean, clear sound, because they have a button here that are called the low cuts. That's where you reduce the bass. Then you have the ranges. You're able to get it from plus or minus 12. So that means you're going to power it with 12 dBs or reduce it by 12 dBs. So when your sliders are too low, don't mind about that. You can be able to power them up because they are clean sounds and send them into your crossover. So basically an equalizer is used to filter. So when you filter, you bring up the good clear sound, you bring down the unwanted frequencies. That's the equalizer for you. Then the next one online is called an exciter. This one I can bet that not so many people know about it, but it's basically a very nice component when it comes to sound. It's a processor. So it's called an exciter. So what does an exciter do? As the name suggests, exciter, it brings excitement into your sound. So what kind of excitement is this? It brings spice. It brings the juice. It brings the cream. It brings the nice spice into your especially high frequencies. A bit of mid, but you're going to feel it more on your high frequency. Anything from 3K. Let me see. Where's 3K? 3K is right over here. So anything from 2K, let's say 2K, 3K, you're able to hear very nice. Actually, I think yes. I think anything from 3K, 2K there, you're going to feel very nice, spicy, high frequencies. So this is not basically just lifting. You are adding a spice, or you are adding a sweet. It's like it's not even an effect. It's just making the whole feel bright and sharp and crisp and crystal clear. That was the word I was looking for. Crisp. You can actually see how my fingers are indicating the level of crispness. So very crisp, very sweet, very nice. So that is the work of an exciter, basically just to bring about the excitement in your now balanced sound. When you are done with the equalization, then now you want to send the signal into your crossover. Before you get into the crossover, you add a bit of excitement into your sweet sound coming from the equalizer into the exciter, and then down to the crossover. Then what else do you have down there? So that's an exciter. Then you have a single equalizer as well. So this one, the function is the same as this one. It's only that this one is called a 215. Same thing. Left channel or right channel, left channel. So 2 channels mean it's stereo, and then it has 15 sliders, 15 bars, 15 sliders, 15 whatevers. These things that you see right over here, to be able to reduce or to be able to increase, there are 15 of them. These ones that you see over here, and it's called an equalizer as well. And remember this, when you are doing, if you want to do clean sound, stereo, left and right, don't use one side mid, one side bass. Use one equalizer to be able to give you the stereo frequency or the stereo output. That's the left and the right. All right, we're going to the last one. The last one that you see right over here is called a compressor. I personally know that so many people know about a compressor, but how to use it, so many people don't know how to use it. So a compressor has so many functions, and as the word suggests, yet again, it compresses unwanted or very high, actually not unwanted, sorry for that word. It compresses very heavy, very loud, very big and noisy, and sometimes even distorted sound. It brings it home. Let me just use that word. It brings it home, compresses it to the level that matches with the other components that are coming in or that are going out of your system. All right. So a compressor basically is able to bring in harmony or bring in line any signal that could be distorting or could be too high or that could be too low, and lift it to a level where it's going to match up in terms of the balance of other frequencies. So basically it has so many other components, but that is the work. It will catch, let me give you an example. If you have a kick, a drum set microphone kick that hits so hard because the cartridge or the diaphragm is too big, so when it's kicking too hard, the input is too hard, and you feel like it's going to overshadow all the other frequencies, then you're able to compress it. So the level, we have levels of call, attacks, release and stuff. Those ones I'll show you in the next video. Lakini you are able to actually release it and attack. You attack, then you release at a particular ratio. There's something called an aspect ratio, but I'll give you all this content. Lakini basically, that is what it is. It's called a compressor. People call it also an expander gate because it's called that as well. It's called a limiter. All right, you can see it's called a compressor stroke limiter gate. So limiter gate is also a level or a limiter basically, which is the same. It does the same function. It limits up to what level a sound can go. So let's say, for example, you don't want anything to go beyond a particular level in terms of dB. You set it at that. You say the maximum this thing should go is 0. So anything beyond 0, when it comes, cut it out. So that's the work of the gate as well. You put a gate and say, I only want these frequencies coming in. Anything that's not this frequency, lock it out. That's the work of a frequency. I'll show you demonstration for one very, very, very soon. What else? I also had said there's something called a feedback destroyer. I normally don't well, let me just say this. I normally don't use a lot of feedback destroyer, but there are people who need to use that, because sometimes you find the place where your sound system is, there's plenty of feedback, there's plenty of so many things that you can do to control that feedback. But I'll show you another video soon of how to control feedback even without that particular component. But now that we have talked about it in terms of processors, a feedback destroyer does exactly that as well. It destroys some amount or up to a particular level of feedback that comes in, that brings echo, that brings very bad feedback, can even destroy your sound system, your speakers and stuff. So a sound system that has plenty of that, then you need something called a feedback destroyer. I'll show you in the next video maybe, and you might need it if you have plenty of those challenges in terms of frequencies bouncing back, echoes, and that kind of stuff. So that is it for today. We are with Alex. Alex is holding a phone today. You can't see. We are using a phone today for one reason or the other. And I hope this the picture is clear. And that is it. So Alex is there. Alex, you can just say hi from there. Oh, yeah, there he is. So say hi.
Hello, guys.
Yeah.
Keep on subscribing.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Alex, for always being a good team player. So that is it, guys. Decibel Audio Kenya, located at the junction of Luthuli Avenue and Kamae Road. Cheers. See you in the next video.